Hey everyone, I'm Becca and I'm a second year student nurse at the University of Nottingham. Welcome back to my channel, and if you've never seen a video of mine, then welcome. I've not made a video in a while and I can explain. So, as you all know, we're in a global pandemic. The coronavirus is going round, which isn't ideal. So, I was on placement when this whole stuff started and started kicking off in the UK. The hospital that I was on placement at is now actually pretty much turned into an entire corona hospital. The ward that I was on was elective surgery. They're now a suspected corona ward. So I had a very lucky escape. I finished my placement a week before the lockdown, and then the university decided that they were going to do all online training and they told us all to go home. So I am now home. So in theory I should have some more time to do some filming. I am still doing online uni and stuff like that. So fingers crossed I can film some more stuff. But basically today I just wanted to do like a little update and tell you what it's like training to be a nurse in the UK during a global pandemic. So I don't really have like a list of things that I want to go over. I just want to kind of talk about my experiences, and this might not be the same for all student nurses in the UK. This is just specific to me and also to my university. So I was on my final weeks of placement when this all started. On my last day, the hospital actually changed the visiting times. It used to be 11:30 till 8:30 all day, and you were allowed however many visitors wanted to come. But then on my last day, they changed it from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. and only 2 people a day, and no one under the age of 16. Now you're not allowed to have any visitors at all apart from one birthing partner, and I think one parent is allowed to stay with paediatric patients. But at my trust, that's what they're doing now, and they started doing that in the process that when I was there. And we kind of had an inkling that the ward that I was on was going to turn into a corona ward, because obviously being elective surgery, there isn't really any elective surgeries going on at the minute. They've cancelled all non-emergency surgeries, so they have become a suspected corona ward, which, I mean, isn't ideal for them because they've just come off being a winter ward. My first day on the ward was actually the first day back as orthopaedics, so they've only really been back being orthopaedics for 6 or 7 weeks, and now they've had to go back, but they're doing an absolutely amazing job. So well done to all of the ward staff on the ward that I was working on. Even though I'm not supposed to be going out onto placement until May now, the university have cancelled all of our placements for this year, just as a precaution. Hopefully when it all starts to blow over, we might be able to go out and do some kind of practice experience, but we're not entirely sure how this is going to work yet. Also, our elective placement has been cancelled, and I'm absolutely devastated because I was in the middle of arranging my elective placement. So I was looking at going with one of the local sexual health services, and I had one lined up which seemed really good, but then I had to email them saying obviously everything's been cancelled. Fingers crossed next year we can sort it out. How the university is kind of working at the minute is that we are doing all of our theory for this year, and we are possibly going to be starting some theory from next year as well. So next year will be probably very placement heavy, which, I mean, that's how it's going to be when we're qualified. We're going to be in placement all the time. So kind of nervous for that, kind of excited, but we'll have to see how it goes. With regards to assessment, some of our assessments have been altered and some of them have been cancelled. I was supposed to have a safe medication exam at the end of the year, so just the same as last year, the kind of mathsy one. That has been changed into a formative rather than a summative. So we are still going to be doing the exam, but the grades aren't going to be going towards our classification because we are going to be doing it at home. People could cheat or whatever. So they've just said that will be a summative, and then next year we'll do another proper formative one, because we do one of those every single year anyway. So, I mean, that's kind of a plus. Not a lot of a pressure on the exam, but also that exam isn't particularly like my least favourite exam anyway. I've always been quite a fan of maths, so the maths exams never really bother me. It is 100% pass rate, but it's not like you're doing quadratic formulas or anything like that. It's not anything crazy. It's just like adding and taking away, dividing and stuff like that. So, I mean, am I disappointed this exam's been cancelled? No, because it's another exam that I don't really have to worry about. Yes, because I mean, it's not a difficult mark to get. So 50-50 on that one. For one of our modules that we were doing, we had to do an elective risk assessment for our elective placement. So that's obviously been cancelled because our elective has been cancelled, so we don't have to do a risk assessment for it anymore, and an elective plan as well. So what we were going to be achieving on our elective placement, I'm not going to be achieving anything on my elective placement because I'm not going anywhere, I'm staying in my house. So that's also been cancelled. We have one written assignment which is still going ahead. I handed in my plan for it 2 or 3 days ago, I can't remember now. But that's on the psychosocial influences of health. So that's still going on. And then I was supposed to be doing a poster presentation as well. So that's kind of going ahead still. It's all about leadership. So we're going to be doing the poster, and then we're going to be doing like a video answering 4 Viva style questions. Not really sure what that means, but we have our tutorial on it next week, so I'm going to find out a lot more then. So it was supposed to be like a small group presentation, but obviously we're not allowed to meet each other now. So that is now going to be through the video, the questions that we're going to be asked during the presentation stage. You're now just going to answer on video instead. So, I mean, I've not really had a lot of stuff cancelled. The elective stuff was formative anyway, so we didn't get graded for it. We just needed to do it to be able to go on our elective. So none of my really important assignments or assessments have been cancelled or altered in any way, which I mean is great for me. I know a lot of people, especially in their final year and also on other courses as well, have had like big exams cancelled. I know that the student midwives have had an exam changed into an assignment, which I mean, is that good, is that bad? I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, for me, my assessments haven't really been affected too much, which is great. I'm going to keep on going. When we finish this year's theory, next year's theory, I don't know. So it's been quite good for me. In the UK, we are now on lockdown. We've been on lockdown for about a week and a half now, and it feels a lot longer than that, but I've been home for about 2.5 to like 3 weeks, because as soon as we finished our placement, I went to uni for like 1 day because we had like a thing at one of the barracks in Nottingham where we went and did some like leadership stuff and some teamwork. But then the university basically have said, well, it's an option for you to come in for your seminars this week because people are self-isolating, and then from the next week on they were doing all online learning. But then on the Thursday of that week, or maybe it was the Wednesday, the like head of the university sent us all an email saying, if you haven't already, I urge you to go back to your permanent homes, because I think that they were kind of preempting that this lockdown was going to happen, reflecting on what's happened in other countries. So I managed to make it home. I'm one of the lucky ones. I spoke to some of the members of the Uniboob team this morning. We had our meeting. Some of them haven't been so lucky. 2 of them are in Nottingham stuck, but at least they're not by themselves. But they didn't manage to make it home to their family. So I'm currently isolating with my mum and my sister, because my sister's at college. She's also doing online classes. My mum works for Costa, so they're obviously shut. All the restaurants and stuff are closed. At this current moment that I'm filming this, my dad is at work still because he's a lorry driver, but there is a chance that he might also have to take leave because obviously they're not getting as much deliveries at the moment because nowhere's open, so there's nowhere to deliver to at the moment. So there's a possibility that all 4 of us will be here all the time. So in this lockdown, we're obviously allowed to be going to the shops, and then we're also allowed our daily exercise, so we are going out for a walk every single day, trying to make the most of the fresh air and to not go stir crazy in the house. So it has been really nice actually being at home. It's really nice being able to spend some time with my family, especially just coming off placement, because I've not been able to see them as much as I want to because I've been like working like crazy. And so it's nice just to kind of be at home and to see everybody every day. It's really nice. At the moment, the university, like the School of Health Sciences, have told us not to join any HCA banks or any agencies to pick up bank work at the hospital because they have deemed it unsafe for us to be out there. I am already part of the bank in Nottingham, and I did have a few shifts that I had already picked up before this whole thing happened, but I was advised to think about cancelling them and to go home and self-isolate. But obviously I've come home now anyway, so it is a little bit more of a trek for me to be getting to Nottingham to be able to pick up these shifts, so I have had to cancel them, which I feel really bad about, and I really do want to just get out there and help, but the university have obviously made this decision for a reason. They don't want us to be out. They've deemed it unsafe. So at the minute I am just at home doing my online work, doing my assignments, making sure that myself, my family is safe, and I'm staying at home doing my bit for the NHS and risking the spread of the coronavirus around by staying at home. Lastly, the thing I want to talk about is obviously the NMC have brought out this new statement now as well, saying that for second years they have like this opt-in scheme where you can do 80% practice and 20% theory. I think you get paid as a band 3 if you do this for your practice. But my university at this current moment in time have said that if you do pick up any extra hours, they will not count towards your clinical hours. Whereas the NMC was saying if you do this 80% practice, 20% theory, then they will count towards your future practice hours. But at this moment in time, the university is like, no, do not go to the hospitals if you don't have to. So they are not going to count towards your clinical hours if you do them, which is a bit of a bummer because I know a lot of people are picking up extra shifts, especially the people who have been stuck in Nottingham. So, I mean, it's a little bit of a bummer, but they are trying to do their best. They're keeping us safe. They've obviously made this decision for a reason. It may change in the future. I mean, at the minute, it doesn't really affect us because we weren't supposed to be on practice anyway. Some people have had to be pulled out of practice, whereas I'm quite lucky that I just finished my placement right before this whole thing kicked off properly, and then I'm not really supposed to be in practice until May. So we'll see what happens when we come to May, because obviously we have a gap in our theory that we're supposed to be doing. We don't do any theory work while we're on placement apart from the reflections and stuff that we do while we're out there. So it might get to May and the university might make a different decision, or they might just pull some of the theory forward. We don't know yet. It's all been a bit stressful being a student nurse at the moment because we're kind of being left in limbo. I mean, as a second year, I'm not affected massively. It's the third years that have been messed around a lot, and some of them are joining the emergency register. I'm not really sure what this means. They're kind of qualifying early, but then they're like kind of not, because they're not being paid as a band 5 like they should be. Some people have opted in, some people haven't, and I'm just lucky that I'm not in that position at the moment. Who knows what might happen in the next few months? It might get really bad. We might get asked to come as well. But at this current moment in time, I'm just quite happy staying at home, doing all my online stuff. I do have a lot more time to just kind of chill, relax. I'm missing my homies, but I talk to them every single day, and I'm like FaceTiming my friends and stuff like that. So yeah, at this current moment, just staying where I am. And yeah, that's kind of all that for the moment. That I've not really been up to much apart from just doing my uni work. So hopefully in these next few weeks you will see my face a lot more, and that's if I can be bothered to put on a full face of makeup to be able to film a video, because it's been really nice that I haven't worn makeup in like a week. But hopefully, because I have a lot more time, you guys will see me a lot more, and I am wanting to film a lot more videos as well. I had so much planned, and then I went on placement and kind of forgot about everything, and I was so busy being on placement, and then obviously this started kicking off, and oh my goodness, it's been a whirlwind. So I will be back soon with another video. If you click subscribe down below and hit the bell icon, YouTube should let you know when that goes up. But if you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below, hit the bell icon, leave any comments for something that you would want to see. I'm always open to know what you guys want to see, because obviously I make my videos not just because I enjoy them, but because I'm giving you guys information as well. So if there's any information that you guys want to know about the University of Nottingham, about nursing, please just let me know, and I am quite happy to make that video for you. So I am planning to make a video next on what my last placement was like, because it was absolutely amazing, but I'm not going to tell you too much right now, so don't spoil the video. So I will see you guys maybe next week for another video. See you later, bye!